At that point, I would say, and I forget what week that was. At that point, FAMU was probably playing top 10 football at that point.
True that.
Top 10 in what category though? Like in all
FCS.
of college football?
All of college, all of FCS. They was playing top 10
all of
all of FCS.
But
Absolutely.
that's really hard to say because football isn't transitive, so it's hard. They was playing good football at that point. I give them that, But like I said, you can kill the CB FAMU with the FAMU from 98, 99, the Pat Bonner FAMU, the JJ Sauter FAMU. They're like 20 times better than this FAMU. This FAMU, because it's a mindset that you have to play in the playoffs, and there's a mindset you have to play in the Celebration Bowl. The Celebration Bowl, you can kill a Celebration Bowl with the director of the Celebration Bowl. If you was watching the HBCU game day when he was on there, he basically said at the 10-minute mark that HBCU football has fallen to such a state that it's no longer competitive for a 3 and 4 game run like you had in 99. So the director, John Grant, of the Celebration Bowl, killed the Celebration Bowl himself on HBCU game day. He basically said at the 10-minute, 12 seconds mark, that HBCU football has fallen to such a state of mediocrity that we can no longer exist in the playoffs. He basically threw in the towel. He basically said, don't even get better. Just come to the Celebration Bowl. What I said, shimmy, bark and spin, Sigma walk, Iota Centaur walk. Just have a good fraternity time. But this is not about football. This is about Freaknik. It's not about football. And the guy said that on HBCU game day.
So MEAC Mike, would you agree with the sentiment that HBCU football is top heavy? There's a few good schools, and then the rest are average to below average.
I say there's 4 schools that play at the FCS level, and the rest of those Division 1 teams play at a Division 2 level. That's my opinion. Out of the 18 schools in the MEAC and the SWAC, only 4 play at a FCS level. That's Jackson, FAMU, Central, and like I, being a Morgan man, I'm gonna say we're getting there, because we lost to 2 teams. That one team made it to the Final Four, Albany, and another team that we played, Richmond, made it to the second round. So there's really around 3 teams that actually play at a 1AA level: FAMU, FAMU, Jackson, and Central.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
And that's sad.
So,
indeed.
That's very sad.
Here's where it gets interesting, because I'm about to start beating that dead horse. The Celebration Bowl just announced an extension of their contract with ESPN.
God forbid.
There is a $2 million per conference split off of that Celebration Bowl, which goes to the SWAC and the MEAC to be divvied up into each individual team. This is the problem with HBCU football. This is the problem with the resources. We are giving away content for free.
Exactly.
The SWAC contract is $60,000 per institution. If you include the events that happen in basketball, they're getting $4,000 per event. So football games and special basketball games, they're getting $4,000 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I tell you like this: if they make the Celebration Bowl what the FBS has done with like the Rose Bowl and the Orange Bowl, you make that an automatic bid for HBCU to get into the playoff, it'll mean so much more.
Oh,
Because
I agree with you 1,000%. 1,000%.
Mike, you was bringing up the 90s. So here's what happened. And it happened because of Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman. The Florida Classic was played on Thanksgiving weekend, the same weekend as Florida State and Miami. I mean, Florida State and Florida. Bethune-Cookman and FAMU played on Thanksgiving weekend. The FCS playoffs started that weekend.
Exactly.
FAMU pushed the MEAC to say, hey, we're going to push this up so we get an automatic bid. All of a sudden, people are now bidding on home games. And if you look at FAMU's playoff record, when they had a home game, they won that home game.
True.
We are
But-
at a disadvantage when we have to play. We should have never had to play Youngstown State in Youngstown State. FAMU was the better team.
I remember that game like yesterday. But
They
the
were the
thing
better
is,
team.
just the way you were built, because you like the year prior, right? You beat Troy. Then you played Western Illinois. You lost that one. So your mindset, when you have a playoff mindset, is always a continual strive to get better, right? So y'all went back to the lab, did what you had to do, came back in '99 with a whole different mentality. I think if your quarterback didn't get hurt, y'all would have made it to the championship game. You know what I'm saying? So that mentality of a playoff mentality, as opposed to just, a fun party time mentality, is totally different. The CB is just a fun time, man. It's like the CIAA tournament for football. It's not serious, man. Nobody takes it as serious.